The long-awaited collaboration between LEGO and Pokemon is finally here. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. And today we're going to be taking a look at all of the sets, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the building process and the actual final build. Let's get into it. Thank you to the LEGO Group for sponsoring this video. Whether you're coming here from a LEGO fan or a Pokemon fan, these sets do not disappoint. There are 3 sets in total, Eevee being the smallest, Pikachu being the middle, and Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise being the largest. I'm going over them in order. The LEGO Group sent these 3 sets over to me a day and a half ago, and I've built all of them. And their sponsorship in this video is specifically for the unboxing of the products. They did not require me to build them, and they did not require me to go into detail about them. I'm doing that because I want to. So all thoughts, views, and opinions in this video are my own. I just want to have this little disclaimer up front. Being someone with my finger on the pulse of the Pokemon community and with knowledge of the LEGO community, if you do want to buy the Eevee, Pikachu, or Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur sets, do not pay scalpers. Scalping culture is not very common when it comes to LEGO. They constantly restock their sets. Do not pay anyone a dime over MSRP. First up is Eevee. Eevee is only 587 pieces. It is by far the smallest of the 3 sets. All of the sets inside of the instruction manual, you have fun little Pokedex pages based off of the original games that the Pokemon were in. And then you also have the Lego Pokedex page, which is kind of cool. And it comes in as the cheapest. And here he is. This is a male Eevee, by the way. If you're not familiar, you could tell by the tail pattern. Actually pretty moldable. If you get the weight distribution just right, he could be on his hind legs or do a nice little cute sitting pose like this. Even though this is an adult set, this could be enjoyed by someone of a younger audience. This is not a play set. You're not designed to move this a lot. The head is only a single ball joint, and Eevee's noggin is so enormous that sometimes if you try to give it too much wiggle, it won't want to stay there. As just standing, cute as heck, by far the most adorable and most accessible of the sets. This one shouldn't take a novice builder more than 2 to 3 hours. An experienced builder, you can knock this out in about an hour or so. I think this is going to be the most sold set, not just because it's, you know, the smallest and cheapest, but because it's the most approachable. Something I do want to add here is that all of the pieces that you see in these adult sets, these are not stickers. These are all actual printed on pieces. This is a 2x4 slope of Eevee's left eye. This is always going to be this piece, as it is with a lot of adult sets. You're not paying for stickers. These are actual UV printed pieces. So don't worry about that. Now here is the box of the Eevee set. You're going to see this at the shelf. Think I'm going to pick this up and build it in a day. And now here's the Pikachu box. Pikachu is 2,050 pieces. An experienced builder is going to take 4 hours to build this. Inexperienced builders, you can look at, I'm guessing, 12 to 15 hours on just this build alone. This 1¼ pound instruction manual, just like Eevee, has a fun little Pokedex entry and a Pokedex entry for the LEGO build itself. And here is the completed build. I'm going to emphasize this again. This is not a play set. This is a statue. It is meant to sit in the corner. Pikachu is far too fragile for you to constantly move it. Its arms are only held on by a small joint, as well as its feet that came off a few times during the building process. And these 2 slopes in particular can regularly pop off when you're adjusting its legs. Luckily, all of these things are very easy to put back on. The things that are larger, like the ears, are posable, and these are not going to be going anywhere. Once you pose them, they're going to be staying there forever. The tail is a little heavy. It kind of only stays all the way up, or it stays all the way down. Anything in between and just sort of falls down over and over. You do have your option if you want to make it a male Pikachu or a female Pikachu. They give you a whole bunch of slopes over here to give it the heart-shaped tail instead of just the pointy tail. And the Pokeball itself, you build it in two different ways, either as an open Pokeball to be on the stand, or there's a different connector piece that you put on and then it becomes a closed Pokeball, depending on how you want to show it off. The Pokeball has a small little square at the bottom that allows it to just sit on the base. It's kind of just Pikachu's lightning bolt design. Yeah, there you go. You can see it from above. I do like how the stand itself has studs and plates being used here to actually show off that, yes, it is Lego. Like the Pokeball, Pikachu has a little docking area at the bottom. That's what I'm going to call it, and we're going to leave it there. Pikachu by himself doesn't like to... Oh, there's the leg piece that came off. The stand also houses this smaller stand inside of here. So if you want a Pikachu standing up on his own, you do have to use that little stand. Otherwise, he's sort of front heavy and he's gonna just keep falling over. His arms do have very limited motion, as in they can go up 2 clicks and down 2 clicks. From certain angles, Pikachu has an uncanny valley that makes it look really weird. And then from some angles, like this random angle, I'm perfectly fine with the way it looks. Not bad. I think it has to do with the fact that the eyes are a little bit more bulbous. After I'm done, I might come back and like readjust the face shape to make it a little, I don't know, closer. The eyes also have the ability to slide in and out for some reason, so if you want him to be more cross-eyed. Pikachu on his own is 2 pounds 4 ounces, or 960 grams. The Pokeball is another 3.5 ounces, and this very large stand is 1 pound 4 ounces. So a majority of the set is the Pikachu himself. He is heavy. He is a chunky little fat boy, that's for sure. There's been some discussion about if they didn't include the stand, it would be a cheaper set. I agree, 100%. But the fact that this isn't a playset, this is a statue, it's gonna be in the corner, this is an adult set, hence the black box. For that target demographic, the stand makes a lot of sense, and I get it, and I like it. I've discussed this before. As far as it being a licensed set, this comes in pretty low on price per piece, but it is just a massive build. Pikachu himself is thick. This thing, other than the 2 feet and the 2 arms, this main body, we've dropped this while building it, and it's fine. This thing is rock solid. Okay, so that's Pikachu and that's Eevee, and that's all cute and everything. Here's the box for Pikachu. Remember the size comparison to the Eevee box. Well, here is Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. This enormous box, about 2 feet tall and weighs as much as 2 gallons of milk or 7 bags of milk if you're in Canada. More than 6,000 pieces, the 8th largest Lego set ever made. Opening the box shows us a Pokeball and a lot of pieces in here. Inside we have 3 boxes. This one is going to be for Charizard because he's fire and flying. The second one for Blastoise with the water symbol. And box number 1 for Venusaur, grass and poison. I love how the adult sets give you like a nice envelope with the instructions. Box number 1, Venusaur. Time to get to work. This build is not for the faint of heart. I build very fast. I've been building Lego sets my entire life, from when I was a kid playing with them to making sculptures and, you know, the enormous Charmander who's been in the backdrop for a year. This entire build, Venusaur took 5 hours, Blastoise took 4 hours, and Charizard took 4.5 hours over the last day and a half. My fiance is currently building Eevee, and in the same 3 hours, she has built almost all of Eevee. If you're not that experienced with building Lego, this is probably what you'll do in 3 hours. And then if you are more experienced, you have this 1.5 pound body and all of the base for it to go on. So
ears.
Okay, ears are done too. Great. I build at a rate at about 500 pieces per hour. If you are not experienced and this is your first Lego set that you've assembled in the last 10 years, you are looking at over 24 to maybe 40 hours to assemble this set. I think it's about time that I get to the build. I need to make some room. Here it is, coming in at about 2 feet tall. This set is enormous. The first of the 3 boxes that you will be building is going to be for Venusaur. Venusaur is the most time intensive, and he is a chunk of a build. This Venusaur is 3.5 pounds. Meaning that this Venusaur alone, not including the base or anything else, is about the weight of the Pikachu and base. He's an absolute unit for being big ol' frog boy that he is. I thought I wasn't going to like the bases as much as I do, but it adds like a nice, fun environment. Venusaur's is the most sparse because he is the largest. You have these large botanical flowers that you're building to complement the corpse flower on his back. With a pattern of swirly dirt that actually looks really good on camera, you also have these 4 places for his feet to be. Oh, I knocked off a flower. As you can tell, not really a Lego reviewer. His front feet have places for those little pins to go. This is an angle you're never going to see of Venusaur, and that's fine. Once he stands on there, he is nice and secure. I brought it upstairs when it was fully assembled and put together, no issues. The mouth does not open a lot, and if you try to open it too much, you're gonna pop off these 2 1x3 slopes. The corpse flower can go up, and then it immediately droops back down, as it doesn't really supposed to move. The leaves do have some mobility, and the vines, you would have to take them apart and then have these individual pieces put into a different way to make them into a different angle. None of these 3 are extremely mobile. The whole body is capable of repositioning to a flat position or an angled position pretty well. And if by chance you built either the Tuxedo Cat, the Tabby Cat, or the 101 Dalmatians dog, this build reminded me a lot of that build because you're working on the body and then the leg and then the leg and leg and leg and then the head and then you put it all together. The building process for the base, because it's not symmetrical at all, it's hard to predict, so it does take a while to actually put together, even for an experienced builder. All of the pieces have such unique building structures and styles. I learned techniques I've never done before, that I've never seen in any sets, and that was a joy. Okay, Venusaur to the side. Oh wow, he is really enormous. That's a third of the set. Your second part is going to be Blastoise, who is very right-centered of the build to make way for, you know, Venusaur having a lot of presence here. Blastoise has a very small amount of motion to his neck, like Blastoise does. His arms can go this, and that's about it, because again, that's Blastoise. His cannons do have the most mobility because that makes sense. But the fact that like the end of the cannon is actually a gray barrel, I find amazing. There's a lot of recoloration of parts I've never experienced before. Again, a lot of building styles I've never seen. These are all motorcycle windshields that are used for these wave crashes. The actual pattern of the wave seems like it would be repetitious, but it's not, because each piece is slightly higher than the next, which causes these windshields to just land here organically and create this great wave pattern. Big fan. This back area, these rocks, this is hollow, that way it, you know, cuts down on piece count. But also, you don't really need that much, and it does blend into Charizard's bit. Blastoise comes in at exactly 2 pounds, and his base is an additional 1 pound 10 ounces. So Blastoise is the most balanced out of the 3 as far as piece count. Anyone who's a Squirtle fan is going to be a big fan of this. Even the shell, that's not going to be visible because of any way that he's posed, still has a lot of texture and detail. And even though, yes, you kind of can see in there, you kind of can't. I do wish that these pieces for the outside of the shell didn't show these connection holes. But other than that, I don't really have too much to say about it. It's a great build. This one was a lot of fun. If you are in a situation that you want to put Blastoise and Venusaur on a shelf, they do sit very well in the corner. I am probably going to be readjusting this in the future as far as my backdrop goes, but having them sort of catty-cornered like that, big fan. By the way, pro tip, if you are a Pokemon fan and you are building these, things that are so helpful. Get yourself a large tray with divided areas. I got this one from IKEA. And also, this is a watchmaker's hammer. This is going to be so helpful for knocking down plates that are too wide and wider. That way they're never going to come apart and you don't have to worry about it shifting or adjusting during movement. So, watchmaker's hammer, I got mine at Harbor Freight for like $6, and tray from IKEA for like $4. Gonna make your life a lot easier when it comes to builds. Here is Charizard. The first thing you're going to notice is that the base on its own looks real bad. That's because this base is designed to fit with the other two bases combined. This color right here, I mean, if I change my room lights to be a more neutral color, you can now see that this is a much different tone from Charizard's body. This is a new color called reddish orange, came out like a year or two ago, as opposed to the classic orange that's used on Charizard's body, and the light yellow and medium yellow that's used on his tummy. The stand here has magma flowing down, or lava. I'm not really too sure the difference between the two, but the whole illusion is that as the lava is flowing down, it's pooling and cooling off to just become regular stone, except for down here where you still see some of it in the reddish orange. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's talk about Charizard himself. That's what we came here for. Charizard is the lightest of the three, which makes sense because he has to fly, right? He comes in at 1 pound, 1 ounce, by far the lightest, easiest to move around. His neck does not move. He's really positioned just for this one angle. If you wanted to modify the build, I'm sure you could. It's just these two anchor points here. And then the neck does have some mobility, but again, slimming this down, you could get him to face forward if needed. The wings are very nice fabric wings that went in there so easily. What material are they? Oh, now they're felt. The tail can go one position or the other. Not a lot of up and down mobility between the different segments of tail, just the finalized position. So if you wanted him just like chilling on your desk, he's always going to be looking up at you. So yeah, that's that. Also, I mean, of course, the fire is removable if you wanted to do that, and the mouth can close, but I don't think he looks good that way. Ears also have the slightest bit of mobility. Arms are extremely mobile, so if you wanted him to, you know, do jumping jacks and stuff, he can. Legs are slightly mobile. Again, statue. Something I thought about quite heavily is that's Charizard's mounting point, which I'm pretty sure means, yep, you can have Charizard on Pikachu's stand. You know what? I really like it. Maybe change the stand itself so it's not a lightning bolt. These three guys just chilling kind of works, which of course means that if you wanted to, you could have Pikachu on top of this volcano. So that's an option too. The assembly process for the three is just a matter of sliding them together, and then they move as a unit. There's no real locking procedure that you have to worry about. It's huge, it's majestic, and I love it. Well, great, guys, that is all three of the Pokemon Lego sets that are available at launch. What are your thoughts on this? Do you plan on picking them up? If you guys are interested in videos like this, when Lego comes out with more Pokemon sets, if you want that to be reviewed, also leave it in the description down below. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this information helpful, hit the thumbs up button again. Thank you again to the Lego Group for sponsoring this video. Until next time, Austin shining.
Man, they see me shining like I got the charm. Stay strapped, got that jet ball in my palm. Felt from the sky, guess I'm the chosen one. And if you need to know how, check out Austin John. Champion flow, yeah, I got that champion flow.